Welcome back to Inside Sources. I'm opening the show today with a quick conversation on two important things. We want to look at the situation in Plateau and Benue, specifically Plateau. Recently, the patterns of this persecution of which the U.S. president designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern. And I have a church elder from the Church of Christ in Nations, Elder Dr. Gabriel Amaren, who is going to be joining us for the first time. Elder, you are welcome to Inside Sources.
Thank you very much. Nice to be with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And also from United States, where a lot of the action is actually happening, I have joining us again, Mr. Stephen Osemwegwe, the president of the Save Nigeria Group. Stephen, good to see you again.
Thank you, Lauli. You're an amazing voice, and Save Nigeria Group in the U.S., we are following what is happening in Nigeria. We are excited that our efforts here is yielding results. I'm very happy to be back on Inside Sources. Greetings, everyone from the United States.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So let us start with Elder Gabriel. Now, some of the things that has been happening, based on what we hear from the communities, especially in Plateau and Benue, is that whole communities are being renamed. Even in some instances, churches are being converted. So I want you, sir, you are an elder of the Church of Christ in Nations. Can you just give us a brief overview of what, your church has experienced and what you, as somebody who came out of Plateau, has experienced, and for a fact regarding religious persecution in those areas?
Thank you, Lalu, for this opportunity. Well, Plateau State, as the name goes, is a home of peace. Naturally, it means ideally there should be peace everywhere. And I know while still in the service, some of my colleagues far back will say they wish to have a permanent place of stay in Plateau State. Why? The weather is so good, friendly, fruits availability, people are receptive. And the culture and everything is accommodating. That was the situation. And many wanted to stay there, some of my colleagues before. However, as time moved on, things change. Things change because so many things happened. That peace was eluded. Arising from crises, attacks, the people who were peaceful, who accommodated everybody, and giving opportunity for them to partake in the growth of the state, as well as to compete in other areas. And then things change. And then as a church, the changes have not been good for us, has affected us in so many ways, in terms of our growth numerically, in terms of our visions and mission of the church. Because when there's peace in the land, it means the people will prosper. And peace is critical. So arising from all that has been happening, especially the church, I will dwell a little and drill it down to a particular local government, Bokos, where I came from.
Okay.
I came from Bokos. Bokos is one of the local government in Plateau State, which is about 177 kilometers away from Jos.
Okay.
Yes, it's a very good place. At Bokos, you can just sit and see a land very far. You may not see any obstacle until your power accommodation can see no more. And so the land is so good. It's one of the most productive local government in our state. Why do I say that?
Agrarian.
Agrarian. Because we farm Irish almost 3 or 4 times in a year. There's no season. If you go now, there are some that are rooting up, there are some that are planting. So there's always something. The weather is friendly, good for rearing animals and so many things. In fact, let me just take you back a little bit. Far back as 1967, when the white men came, they chose that place and set a particular area called Butravet. Why did they choose that? They made their research all over. They discovered that the grass there was so good for rearing cows, the water and everything. So they set that place for bringing up livestock to get milk, while that of Vom was for research and disease control.
Okay.
Just to give you a picture. So the people have been so accommodative, so receptive. But over the years, the people that we give them, especially the Fulanis, we gave the opportunity to come, to stay in our places. After some time, they stay without compensation, without anything. But after a while, a lot of things start happening. You discover that somebody will have his farm, they will go and maybe they will eat it off, their cows, some little kidnappings here and there. And that changed the whole scenario. Then suddenly, of course, you know, in 2023, the December episode that happened in the December 24th, 2023. People were preparing for Christmas. And ideally, people who prepare Christmas are Christians.
Of course.
And anybody who is there, whether it be a Fulani or be anybody, you know that Christians are the ones planning for that Christmas. There was a sudden attack that changed the whole scenario.
That was in Bokos.
In Bokos. People were killed in numbers. Households were destroyed. Homes were destroyed. Churches were destroyed. People have to run out from their areas of settlement to move to the local government headquarters. There was a lot of movement. And the places the people were staying, the people were displaced from their homes. And that affected our church because majority of members are Christians. 90% of the people, or 90% of people in Bokos, they are Christians. So when there's a crisis, who suffers? It's the church that suffers. And Hawkins stands to be one of the dominant church in Bokos. So the church suffered. So as I even speak to you, now, just 2025, in other places like Mushere, where when a lot of people were killed, reverends were killed. In fact, churches were destroyed. In fact, I have a list here about 13 churches with pastorums.
Can you read some of the names?
Let me just into it.
Just so we know that we are talking about facts.
Okay, we have at Kwan, the pastor's house was destroyed. At Kamkur, the church and the pastor's house was destroyed.
Do you have the dates that this happened?
I have them. I can get back to you.
Okay.
I have all those dates. I can get back to you.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. So these are just examples. And not only that, the funny thing is that out of these places, after a while, these places, the communities that people were displaced, people are not that some that people are not staying there up to now. You can't dare go there.
I mean, after the attack.
After the attack,
people are scared off.
People are scared, and you not even scared. Even when you have the boldness to go, if you go there, they will just kill you.
Is it because they have taken over the place?
Fine, they have taken over the place. I have a list here. There are places, villages, and occupied by the terrorists or the fighting militias that you cannot go. In Bokos and in Mushere in particular, I have a long list here.
Like how many villages?
What I have here, about more than 10.
But more than 10 villages?
More than 10 villages.
In Bokos?
In Mushere, that was just only in Mushere.
Okay, it's Mushere?
Mushere is in Bokos local government.
In Bokos, okay.
It's a district.
So this is just in Mushere?
It's just in Mushere. Because Bokos has other districts.
Right.
And each of these districts, all of them suffered. But however, you know, the severity varies. Mushere, one of the areas that the severity was so high.
The severity of the attack?
Yes, of the attack was so high. And that's why we have this long list of places there that people cannot even go there. In fact, you will surprise you that some of these places, they have been renamed.
Oh, wow.
For instance, let me just read this to you. A place called Hawk, H-O-K, or H-O-K-K, has been renamed as Sabo Bauchi.
Oh, in Plateau?
In Plateau, in Mushere.
So it used to be called Hawk?
Hawk, H-O-K. That has been renamed as Sabo Bauchi.
So who did the renaming? Is it that they took over the whole place?
They took over and then...
They have community heads before? What happened to the community heads?
They have been displaced.
Wow.
They have been displaced. They have been sent away. And there's another one too. It's called Nalu. It has been renamed Sabo Nalu. These are just examples. So now, you know the power of naming. If you name somebody, it means it speaks of authority. Even the Bible tells us when God created us, He gave Adam the authority to name. So that was power. So by the time you name something, it speaks of authority. It speaks of ownership. So when they name like that, they change everything around there. Even it means the church they have taken over. If we name a particular with the culture, the tradition, the way of doing things, they have taken over. Wow. Some people even try to even go and say, okay, let me go and check and see whether my goat is there. But there's some chickens that I ran and left.
Right.
And unfortunately, as you go, they'll kill you.
Mm.
So that's the situation.
So these ones that you mentioned now,
Yes.
when did this renaming happen? And this
No, this one was 2025. You know, this crisis happened in 2025, especially in Mushere.
Okay.
In 2025. So that 2025, up to now, from that 2025 to now, people cannot go to these places.
Mm. Somebody even told me that Solomon last wife, the former governor of Plateau State,
Yes.
late Mr. Solomon La,
Very well.
that one of the churches that the wife, was supporting has also been taken over. The community has been taken over, and the church converted.
That's right. There is, like this one that I mentioned, these places. If the community has been renamed, and the people who renamed them are not Christians, it obviously the church have been changed to another thing.
Let's take it to Mr. Stephen Osemwegwe. Like many of our viewers know, Mr. Osemwegwe is leading the Save Nigeria group in the United States, where US-based Nigerians are coming together to try and do their own best, using their influence with the US government to see how this situation can be coped. Stephen, you've heard, again from the elder, not that you are not aware already. I wanted to ask you, so what is the latest thing that you guys are doing, and what kind of progress are you making, if any at all, with the US government?
Thank you, Laolu. Thank you, our brother, Father Gabriel Amari. Just to quickly say before I answer Laolu, that I met with Governor Mofang from Plateau 2 weeks ago at the George Washington University during his visit while we were attending the International Religious Freedom Summit at the Hilton Hotel. But we went to meet with Plateau State Governor, who came to meet diaspora professionals for seeking investment in Plateau. And he talked about the potato fields, the very good climate, and he was seeking diaspora to invest. And one of my questions to the Governor Mofang on that day was, sir, in the same Nigerian group, as well as other coalition members that I work with, we get reports of killings in places like the Birom community around the tin mining area, as well as the Bokos area. And I asked if these reports of mass killings, mass burials by the very popular Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo is going on, and we are seeing it on a weekly basis, how do you expect us to come and invest? And Governor Mufang did say that they are very much concerned about the security situation, and they are working with the federal government, now working with the US government, with the new US-Nigeria pact, to bring security to Plateau. So I want to say that our father, Reverend Gabriel, please, I want to connect with you in order to continue to make sure what the governor told us in George Washington University last 2 weeks is getting improvements on the ground. Because indeed, I told the governor, I'm aware of what the minerals that Plateau has. Plateau is one of the most blessed states in the country. And I suspect that's why the terrorists continue to target Plateau. A lot of my friends here, like George Saul of the Saved the Persecuted, Equipping the Persecuted and others, when they go to Nigeria, where they go is just because the weather is good, because they are from the Midwest that is a bit colder. Just to say that before I continue, we have made major progress, Laolu Akande. We went for the International Religious Freedom Summit 2 weeks ago as Save Nigerian Group, and because of our efforts in Washington, I was invited to speak on Nigeria issue. And God so having it, we got wind that our father, Prophet Issa Ebuba, was coming to Washington, coming to the US at that time. He had the program in Dallas. So we quickly reached out and said, our father, Prophet Issa Ebuba, can you please alter your schedule and come for a world press conference in Washington? And he obliged. Our father, Prophet Issa Ebuba, was with us 2 weeks ago, and we did, on the sidelines of the International Religious Freedom Summit in Washington Hilton, Nigeria was centered. After my presentation, which I made the case for what is happening, the Christian genocide and the genocide of other groups in Nigeria, Prophet Issa Ebuba came to make this statement as a Nigerian clergy, what Nigeria is asking of the United States. You can see the conversation around that. But beyond that, something miraculous happened. The prophets, after giving the press conference that was well attended with over 30 different organizations, including American organizations that were concerned, the prophet gathered us together and said he wanted us to speak with one voice. As people that are interested in protecting Christians in Nigeria, it is only fair that we don't do multiple things. Let's come together under a new coalition. And I can tell you, sir, and your viewers that the Nigerian diaspora now is coming together under a new coalition led by Save Nigeria Group. And already we are getting churches and other groups that believe that Christians in Nigeria should be protected. They are coming under the coalition, and we are already hitting the ground running. Number one is that there was a bill that was just introduced, the Nigerian Religious Freedom and Accountability Act of 2026, co-chaired by Chris Smith, which you have met, Laolu, and Riley Moore, which Nigerians know. We met with him a few weeks ago. Before they released the bill to the public, they quickly reached out to us that we heard your coalition is coming up. Can you guys write to support the bill? And we had a preview to look at the bill, and we, all of us in the coalition, led by Save Nigerian Group and others, including American organizations, signed to that bill officially before it became public. And we are calling Nigerians that are watching this show, if you are in America, please call your Congress member. Because if this bill is passed into law that brings accountability to those behind these killings, particularly in the Middle Belt region, I believe that even if administration change in the future, which is normal with the US politics, the 2026 Nigerian Christian Religious Freedom Accountability Act should be codified. So call your Congress member if you are watching this, and I appeal to you to reach out to your families in the United States. Let them call their Congress member, tell them to please pass the bill. Let Speaker Johnson put the bill before the House. That's our major push right now, for that bill to become law, in order to be able to curb the excesses of the Fulani ethnic militia, which is fully responsible for the killings in the Middle Belt. Of course, Boko Haram and ISIS are operational in Borno and the rest, but we know that the epicenter of this killing now in Kwara is largely, according to the victims, are Fulani ethnic militia. They need to be designated a terror group.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Stephen Osemwegwe, for the tough work that you are doing in the US, and thank you for giving us those updates. I have just 1 minute left, and I want both of you to take 30 seconds each. What do you think the Nigerian government should do, in the circumstances? Very, very briefly, Elder.
Well, I think that's what we call consequence management. Consequence management means if you catch somebody who has done something in an organization, he has to be punished. You serve as a deterrent to others. So by extension, it means we've gotten a lot of committees, a lot of panels, names have been mentioned, and neither have we clearly seen, well, recently some have been mentioned, but what has been done, of course, some maybe to court, but we really need more action. Those who are caught, they should be punished.
Okay, excellent. And thank you for keeping to time. Stephen, last word. What does the Nigerians based in the US, what do you want the Nigerian government to do? In 30 seconds, please.
We in America that are Nigerians and care about this issue want our president to work with the United States. Remove the fear that people bring to you. The US is really honest. As far as my engagement with them in Congress, our engagement, please work with the United States. Let them help us where we cannot help ourselves to take out the terrorists and make sure Nigeria is safe for everybody. Save Nigeria Group USA is a partner to make sure Nigeria is secure for all Nigerians.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stephen Osemwegwe and Elder Gabriel Amare.
Thank you. It's nice being with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.